I angle the cello so that it's actually sitting just like my thigh and my knee are sitting just under it right here. So it's not.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah, does that feel more like?
Yeah.
Okay. So. And that'll set you up in a more normal, like normal position anyway.
Yeah.
How you're sitting right now, actually, you might want to get the cello leaning a little farther back. So that would mean, like yours is sitting pretty far up right now. So you might want to extend the peg.
I'll just do the peg.
Okay, that's fine. It took me a long time to figure out where it was like the most comfortable
your spot.
Yeah. And if you have it more angled, yeah, like that looks a lot better. It's going to be easier for you in the long run when you're playing. Okay, so we're going to start by tuning. How we usually tune is in fifths, so I'll give you your A, and then you tune your A, and then you tune the A and D, then D and G, and then G and C.
Okay.
So, before we do that though, can I see your bow hand? Yeah. What you can do, hold it with your left hand so you can get it set up with your right. That might make it easier. Okay, you're going to see that from the front. That looks pretty good. You might want to get your fingers a little farther around it.
Around it, yeah.
Or not like gripping it like this, but like your fingers are more like a violin. You know, like a violin hold. Like you don't need them so far.
Yeah,
around
they want them like right on the
front.
top. I understand. Yeah, okay.
So.
Can I hold it like this?
Yep, that looks pretty good.
Does it matter if does my pinky have to be curled?
It should be curved. You don't want it out like this.
Okay.
And you always want to keep your thumb bent. That's something you always just want to keep reminding yourself of. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So why don't we start by tuning your A.
Sorry.
It's okay. Set your bow on the string and then draw on both of them, then draw the bow. Want me to make it easier? I'm just going to, okay, now it's really out of tune, so you can start from somewhere that's really out and it's gonna make it easier for you to hear it because you were so close before. It's okay.
I feel like this one's out.
Nope, it's the D. The D's still too low. No, it's a little too high. You don't have to like with okay. I see your problem. With violin pegs, you only need to turn it a little bit, and it'll affect the pitch a lot. With cellos, and you'll see with basses, you can turn the pegs a lot more. You're going to need to turn the pegs a lot more before you hear a monumental change in pitch. So.
Okay. Can you play your fifth, and then I'll compare it to.
So we can do that. There you go. Okay. So I noticed when I was watching the video from last week, some of your bows were actually not straight when I was showing you that they were straight.
Okay.
But I think that's because we had really limited space to work with. So I'm going to stand here, and I want you to draw full down bow and up bow on each string in the proper spot. And before you start, remember the trick that I
Yeah.
taught you with that? Yeah, I just want to see you do that. Well, to start, your D, G, and C were all really good. Your A, you kind of actually almost started out crooked,
Okay.
and it stayed at that angle for both bow strokes. So I guess that's at least you're consistent. But that's just going to need to be mere practice. Another thing I did notice you're doing is you're pulling the bow up with you.
I know. I saw that. I was like,
You need to just let, I think your shoulder might be tensing up,
Yeah.
and so then everything else comes up with you. So that's just gonna be just relax. I'm not that scary, I promise. But other than that, it was really good. Okay. So, on to scales. It might be easier to start doing scales without the bow at first. It might be easier to do that.
Sure.
So for now, we can set our bows down. We're going to start with C, which is supposed to be the easiest because it doesn't go very high. So do you remember the finger patterns that we went over at our last lesson?
Yeah, there are a few different ones. Which one did you want me to do for this?
Well, can you just show me a couple different ones? Don't worry about playing the scale. I just want you to play even just do it on your D. Just pluck, a one, 2, 4, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about playing right
I don't
notes
really
or whatever. Yep. So what one's it?
I never really shifted. It's the 1, 2, 4.
Yep. That's the one. Okay. And what's another one?
1, 3, 4.
Yep. Yep. And what's another one? The extended position one is, do you remember how that one goes? Okay. That's where you start, on your 1. 1. Your 2, your second finger goes in the spot that the third normally would go. And then your 4th finger plays a whole step up from that. So this is all whole steps. I probably should have had you think of that when I was doing the other ones, but yep, that looks pretty good. Okay. And then there's another one which we talked a little bit about, which was the 1, 2, 4 reach back.
Right.
Which is what that's sort of a concept we'll be doing when we're doing these scales. Eventually, when you get to be doing all the scales, but Wexler wouldn't want us to he wouldn't want us to play open strings. So what you were doing, for example, for G, you'd start up here 1, 2, 3 instead of playing, or D, instead of doing 1, 2, 3 open 1, 2, 3, or 1, 3, 4 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You would shift up to another position, and eventually, so you wouldn't play any open strings at all. So it sounds harder than it actually is. It's really easy once you understand how to do it.
Okay.
But for now, we're just going to focus on a 1 octave C, and we'll worry about the 2nd octave when we get there.
Okay.
So, what are the intervals between each note for a C scale? So from C to D.
Sharps or flats, it's just.
Yeah, but the intervals between each note. So between C and D, is it a major second or a minor second? Or a whole step or a half step?
Just be a major second.
Yep, so a.
So whole step.
Yep.
Okay.
And then D to E is.
Same thing.
Yep. And then E to F is.
Half step.
Yep.
And whole
G.
step. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to make sure you understand.
I don't
these.
actually think about it. I just play it. So.
Mhm. That's okay. So.
So you do, what do you do?
I'm just thinking about what I need to do. Okay. For now, before we worry about shifting and not playing any opens, why don't we just try playing it with open strings? So from the fingering is going to be, you're gonna start with your open string, right? And then 1, obviously, right? So then your D to E is a whole step, right? So is that gonna be 2nd finger or 3rd or 4th?
So 3rd?
Yeah. And don't forget when your 3rd finger goes down, your 2nd also has to go down.
Okay.
So. And then E to F is,
Your 4th finger?
yep. Then G is your open, right?
You can't do that, right? You have to put all the fingers down?
If you're not extended, you shouldn't. Good. Don't push your thumb like this. You don't want your thumb super tense. That might be hindering your ability to play
Okay.
in the regular positions. That might be why it's harder for you.
Okay.
So just remember holding Coke bottle, playing cello at the same time.
Okay.
Okay.
Multitask.
So, can I just see? How about we'll play this scale together. 1, 2, ready, go. Down. Good. That's just something you're just gonna have to.
Is it because it's on its side?
Or
Or does it have to be like on the fret to shoot?
your thumb can roll a little bit, I guess. I'm not, and I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, so I will get back to you on that.
Okay.
That was pretty good. So why don't we try doing it with the bow now? One, two, ready, go.
Well, sorry.
Where should your bow be on your fingerboard? Or on the strings?
Oh, sorry.
I would get it a little bit lower. I don't know if you noticed, you were like up here
Yeah, I
when
know.
you were playing, so. Don't tense up.
Don't.
Don't get nervous. It's okay.
Okay.
1, 2, ready, go. Can I just see you do that once
It's
on your
just
own?
the shift, yeah, sorry.
be afraid to dig in on the C string and even the G string a little bit because you're still getting a little bit of
The airy sound.
yeah, you want a goofy cello sound. So, yeah, just like that. That's great.
Okay.
Okay. It might have been a little easier to start with second octave of C scale, but that's okay. Because you did a pretty good job. You did a really good job with the first octave. So, now that you understand the notes and everything, we're going to try it with the shifting.
Okay.
So, what you're going to do, instead of playing an open G, you're obviously going to want to play it on the C string. So how that's going to work is okay, ready. What you're going to do when you play your C scale, you're going to play, it's going to start out normally, just like a regular C scale would. So instead of playing open, your whole hand frame is going to shift up to the G note. So, yep, good.
Okay.
And then you're going to do extended position. Or no, you don't even have to do that. Yes, you do. Excuse me. And this would be the start of the second octave. So that's why we're shifting where we are, because it sounds pretty, it seems pretty strange to have to shift back to a C. Because if you just did, I forgot to explain the second shift. So like, okay, let's just say we're, going along in our new position, which is fourth position. Fourth position, okay, so G, A, B, and if you just went right onto the next first finger, it would be D. Yeah, you have to shift back into third position.
Would you ever just stretch and do the last note on the C string?
No, I mean, you could. There might be some reason you might want to do that, but for our purposes, no. So why don't we just practice shifting from our fourth finger F to our first finger G? And then shift. Okay, when you're yep, that's good. You're checking with your open string. Something Dr. Wexler really likes is he also throw in the dart. So you're playing, you're preparing to shift. You prepare your shift. You see it before you actually do it, and then you just go for it, and then you see where you land. And if it's in tune, yay, continue along. Let's say you were doing your shift, and you're like you overshot. Okay, fix it, and then try it again.
Okay.
So oh no, this isn't right, that's not right, because then you're gonna practice doing it wrong, and you're gonna, it's gonna be in your mind to.
I understand. Yeah, it makes sense to do it that way.
Yeah. So
Okay.
why don't you try that?